This is like Deep Blue versus Bobby Fischer level chess matchup, or Gary Kasparov, or whomever you want to throw out there. The chess match between Brian Flores, Vikings defensive coordinator, and Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator. Big time edge for me to Ben Johnson. Per Brett Coleman, who has the popular YouTube channel, The Film Room. We've had Brett on the show before. Brett does a fantastic job. Per Brett Coleman on Twitter, I took this from one of his tweets. Jared Goff, in his last two meetings against Brian Flores, obviously Flores as the defensive coordinator in Minnesota, Goff, on 77 dropbacks, has been blitzed 57 times. This tracks, right? Given Brian Flores and like what he likes to do as Vikings DC. Adjusted completion percentage for Jared Goff on those 57 dropbacks where he's blitzed out of 77, 84%. Feel like Seth Green and can't hardly wait. 84%, 510 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Simply put, Jared Goff and Ben Johnson own the Minnesota Vikings and that blitz package on defense from Brian Flores. Also, Jamison Williams is way more of a weapon now to beat the blitz than he has been in the past. Like, I think he's going to have a huge game. Like, spoiler alert, we'll have some J-Mo, Waymo overs this weekend for the Lions against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, maybe you're out there thinking, and I wouldn't begrudge you for this, Aiden Hutchinson's not playing. Maybe you think the Vikings can score a ton of points on the Lions defense. It's possible. It could happen. My advice, if you think that, bet the over, because I think the Lions are scoring in this game. For me, I'm going to take the team that I think is better at plus money. Give me the Detroit Lions on the money line. Next game. This is game 2 of 3 in the NFL. Big game 2 of 3. Let's talk about the team that I now like to win the NFC. The Packers and the Texans coming over tonight. They're not coming over tonight. They'll be playing on Sunday afternoon at Lambeau Field. Green Bay, a juiced 2.5-point home favorite. The total is 47.5. Earlier in the week, when Femi and I did like our best bets on Monday, the early quick picks for the NFL, I talked about the over in this game at 47. Still like that, obviously. 47 is the number that I'd want to bet. But as far as the side goes, call me a hopeless romantic. I love. Now, I'm also a Stroud boy. I love C.J. Stroud. But I love more than I love Stroud. And I'm more into the Green Bay Packers than I am the Houston Texans. Can I say something that I feel like a lot of people will believe is blasphemous? I actually think that people will have like a visceral reaction to this when they hear it, when they watch me say it. I think Jordan Love's better than C.J. Stroud. And that's not meant to be C.J. Stroud stinks. Stroud's awesome. Any team would be lucky to have C.J. Stroud as its quarterback. But right now, 1 for 1, I'll take Jordan Love. And maybe I'm wrong about that. And maybe Stroud outplays him on Sunday and I'll lose some money. I'm willing to bet on it. And I know it's not QB versus QB, but I like Jordan Love more than I like C.J. Stroud. Consecutive road games here for the Houston Texans. In game 1 without Nico Collins, no sweat against the New England Patriots. But now it's Green Bay. And y'all pay homage to the man. Woo! Shout out to Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8, Royal Rumble 92. Jordan Love in Green Bay. Bet number 2 in big game number 2. I'll lay the 2.5, and I'll eat the juice to do it. Green Bay minus 2.5, minus 120 at the Sportsbook Born in Vegas. Bet MGM. Last NFL game here for the Open. And if you're paying attention, you know like what the slate is this weekend. If you have a pulse and you like sports, you know what the game is. Super Bowl 54 rematch. Super Bowl 58 rematch with the Chiefs and the Niners in Santa Clara. Current side and total at MGM. San Francisco, a 1.5-point favorite in the game. The total is sitting at 47. To which I say, really? Are we, like, collectively going to just keep doing this with Patrick Mahomes as an underdog? Like, have we not all collectively learned our lesson in spots like this? And I said this before the season started. Like, I spent 2 decades getting my brains beaten in and money taken out of my wallet trying to beat Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And rarely it would actually work. Like Colts minus 3.5, 2006 AFC Championship game, Colts win 38-34. Like you would get there sometimes, but most of the time you lost. And most of the time you had less money after the game ended than you did before it started. How'd it go? Chiefs as an underdog, betting against them this past January in Buffalo, in Baltimore, or the Super Bowl against this very team. And we can do the whole Andy Reid off the bye. Andy Reid off the bye. Everyone knows Andy Reid off the bye is amazing. Everyone knows about the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. But you know what? I really respect Brock Purdy, and I really respect Kyle Shanahan. I think Brock Purdy's playing better this year than he did last year when he almost won NFL Most Valuable Player. So for me, I love both offense. I love Mahomes, I love Purdy, I love Shanahan, I love Reid. This game is going to be won by defense, specifically the Kansas City Chiefs defense. And I would ask everyone out there, even if you like the Niners in the game, answer this next question honestly. Which defense do you trust more? The Chiefs or the Niners? Which defensive coordinator do you trust more? Steve Spagnuolo or Nick Sorensen? Which head coach do you trust more? Reid or Shanahan? Which quarterback do you trust more? Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy? This is as easy as it gets. Patrick Mahomes at plus money. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Big game, best bet. Numero tres. Baldy, you will be on the national radio call coming up this Sunday. Super Bowl 58 rematch. Absolutely can't wait for it with the Niners and the Chiefs in Santa Clara. And I opened the show talking about this game. I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes at plus money. I feel like a lot of people that bet Baldy will do the same. Any reason for you to believe, Baldy, that the Niners are actually the right side in this game to try and one-up Kansas City after losing Super Bowl 58?
Not really. I mean, I don't know the health of Jordan Mason right now. I mean, maybe it's Isaac Orlando. He played well. He had a big run the other night. But, I think they're starting to get a little thin on the defensive line and at the running back room. And it's just hard to go against Patrick Mahomes in these big games coming off a bye week. I don't know what Andy Reid's record is off a bye. I know in Philadelphia when he was there, I don't think he ever lost after a bye. Like, all he does is
21-4, Baldy.
Like
21-4 straight up.
Okay. Thank you, Nick. There you go. I mean, I knew you had the number. But 21-4, it's hard to argue that. That's over 25 years now. It's hard to argue with what he does to his offense. And look, I mean, you saw what Juju Smith did against New Orleans in the last game. You saw what Kareem Hunt did in his last game. And they take these guys that look like they're washed up everywhere else, and all they do is produce when they get to Kansas City. It's pretty amazing. And you can never count out the Spagnuolo effect and what he does defensively for that team and how talented he is going up against Kyle Shanahan. I like the Chiefs in this game right now.